Hello, welcome to District Stitcher. I believe this is video number 5. Thank you so much for joining me. This is a YouTube channel about the hobby of cross stitch. Occasionally I will throw in book recommendations, random chatter, maybe some other crafts. Who knows? It'll be a fun adventure. If this is your first time joining me, thank you. Feel free to hit the like and subscribe button if you like my content. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much. It's been so much fun to engage with you all through the comments. It really makes me feel like part of a bigger community, which is what I was looking for when I started this. So, I'm not, I don't know that there's any cross-stitcher out there that's starting a YouTube looking for, that sweet influencer income. But, it's such a great community here on YouTube, which is surprising and awesome. So, I'm just having my morning coffee. This on my mug. This is my grandniece, Mia. She's actually 4 now, so this was taken when she was around 2.5, 3. This is my Mia mug. Anyway, let's get into it. This is going to be a fairly short video. I am leaving shortly to join my sister and brother-in-law at the National Gallery of Art. We're going to walk around, look at art, because that's what you do at the National Gallery of Art. Also, they have, if you're in DC and you're doing the museums, National Gallery of Art has the best gift shop. Like, the absolute best gift shop. So definitely, if you need to pick up gifts for people, that is the place to go. I do Christmas shopping there, actually. And then it's kind of cold today here in DC, so I'm hoping that'll keep the crowds away from the cherry blossoms. And we might be able to walk down to the tidal basin, get some cherry blossom time in. Doesn't matter how long I live here, it's beautiful every year. The great thing about my neighborhood is that so many different houses have little cherry blossom trees in their yard. So even just walking around Capitol Hill, you can see there's the cherry blossoms that bloom early that are, I don't remember the variety of tree, but it's the ones that bloom at the basin are the earliest. And then there's this other variety of cherry blossom that has these bigger, puffier, pinker blossoms. And those bloom later this month into early April. Those are actually my favorite. Because they're just so big and puffy and pink. But there's, I think spring is DC's best season. Fall here is nice, but, excuse me, it's too short for me. I like a longer fall. It stays warm well into September here. But spring is it's just so beautiful. And Capitol Hill especially, everybody plants, you can always see tulips, daffodils, all sorts of spring flowers. Everybody's gardens are in full show. So it's really nice. So, jumping in, speaking of spring, I did, let me grab something to put behind this. I went ahead and I got a smaller count fabric for those monthly trio stitches that I've been doing. They're by Waxing Moon Designs, monthly trios. I will put a picture up here so that you can see what I'm working on the next trio. So I'll show you what April, May, June look like. But I have the pattern digitally, so I'll show you a picture. I finished stitching April. Let me tilt that a little better. I also figured out how to stop mirroring. I figured it out once and then completely forgot. And I have figured out again how to stop mirroring so that you are not reading text backwards. I know that's a little uncomfortable for folks. So, here is April. Having to tilt it just because of glare. But this is done in Weeks Dye Works thread predominantly. There's a little bit of DMC in there. I think the yellows are DMC. But the rest of it is Weeks Dye Works, and which is called for on the pattern. Oh, except for this green down here. The green, oops, there we go. The green on the hill is Classic Colorworks. And then this is just stitched on a 38 count vintage country mocha. Because the last one I did on a scrap piece of fabric, I think it was this is 32? 32 or 36. I don't have the tag anymore. But it's smaller. The other one was stitched on 28 count, and I didn't like how big they ended up being. I mean, it's fine. It still fits within the wreath. But wasn't quite what I was looking for. So now I got a higher thread count fabric. Means smaller stitches. Means smaller projects. So that's that one. So this is a finish. It's not a fully finish, but it's a finish. Then I will put a picture up here. I was working on the Spring Blue Tit from Lesley Teare, and it's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful pattern. And she's got one for each season. I would definitely be doing all 4 of them. I don't know if I'll be doing all 4 of them this year, but I will be doing all 4 of them at some point. You'll see on the photo that there's a green border that goes around on the outside. I'm not going to do the rectangular border. I'm leaving that off. It just doesn't feel, it's really confetti-ish, and then I don't know, I just don't think it needs it. I like the sort of circular wreath effect with the flower spilling out of it, so I'm not gonna, I am not gonna bother doing the green border on any of them. But this is stitched on a 28 count crystal confetti by Picture This Plus. So it is, let me see if I can get some of that shimmer on camera. If you've ever stitched on opalescent or crystal fabric, I think Picture This Plus calls them crystal, and other places call them opalescent, but it's just basically got that shiny thread running through it. And if you've ever stitched on it, you know that they are way more sparkly in person than you can ever capture on camera. But let me see if I can angle it to get rid of the glare. This is where I am. It's a 4-page digital pattern, and there we go. I am stitching it just page by page because it's easier to have up. I have a really big monitor, so I have it on one side of my monitor, and then I do either Flosstube or what I call my comfort watching TV, which is usually either what was Virgin River. I ran through Virgin River, so now I'm waiting for the new season. And now I started watching Done with Gilmore Girls. And now I started watching, Sweet Magnolias, which is very sappy, and very southern, but fun and charming and sweet, and that's really all I'm looking for. I'm not looking for, like, big, deep emotions when I'm cross-stitching. I'm looking for comfort TV. I'm looking for a cup of tea and a show. So yeah, here is the Spring Blue Tit. I want to pull it back a little bit. I adore the way these purples pop on this yellow fabric. It's so pretty and it's so charming. So most of my stitching time the past 2 weeks, when I had stitching time, which it just feels like I haven't had as much as normal. But then again, last weekend I was prepping for a conference, so I didn't go out and do anything. I just stayed home and cross-stitched so that I would be available if anything came up last minute for the conference last Monday. And various things. So I did get a lot of stitching time in on the weekend. And in the evenings on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I had some time. And I sat and cross-stitched. But I just love this, and I haven't really been able to put it down. So the majority of my stitching time was spent on this project, because I just love it so much. The next one I have to show is, I don't actually know if I've made any progress on this since the last time I showed it, but I'll pop it up here anyway. I'm doing I'm starting the Year in the Woods series. Hold up this side. I'm not used to not mirroring my camera, so This is, so this is the fox from A Year in the Woods, and, there we go. Put it in front of my face so it focuses on it there. I don't remember. I'm doing it on Picture This Plus fabric. It is not the fabric that's originally called for because you can't ever find it anymore. The Mirage. But it is Picture This Plus, and it is blue, and it looks really close, actually. And I'm just doing it in the DMC thread. Something behind it there. Let's see. So yeah, not a ton of progress. I may not actually make any progress since the last time I showed it. I don't know. I don't remember how much I've stitched on it. Stitched on it a little bit, I think. So slow going on it. I figured I would dive into this one more, but I've just been, all of my time has been spent on that spring blue tint, and I just love it so much. So maybe when that's done, I'll have more time on the fox. The last thing I want to show is it is both a haul. I said I wasn't going to buy any more, I lied. Don't we all lie? It is Hive Rules. I jumped on the bandwagon. I couldn't help it. I saw so many people stitching it, and I just love the colors. I don't stitch a lot with words, but I don't know. I don't know what it was about this one. I think it was the color combo that just really got me on this one. So Hive Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And I'm sure you've seen a bunch of other, if you watch a lot of Flosstube, I'm sure you've seen other people do it. So I grabbed it, and I'm just stitching it on a white Lugana. I didn't go fancy on fabric because I was looking at for a honey yellow at first, but then I was worried that the yellow threads wouldn't show up as well. I did see someone stitching it on a honeycomb pattern fabric, but I haven't been able to find that. And then also there's places where you're stitching a honeycomb. So I just went with a white Lugana. I do like minor and beeswax. Mind your own beeswax. This is my really impressive start. Super impressive. I hadn't actually intended to start it. I put the floss on bobbins, and then I just wanted to see what it would look like. So I started. And that's really it. It's, like I said, this is going to be a pretty short video. It might be hard pressed to hit even 15 minutes this time. But, so much of my time taken up with that Lesley Teare pattern. But I just love it. I'm in the mood for the spring colors. It is gray, windy, and gross as it gets here in March. And I'm ready. I'm ready for full-on spring, and then, man, I'm ready for summer. Which is funny because I'm not a summer person, but I just get, this time of year, I'm just like, I want to not have to think about dressing in layers, right? I want sundress season. Torrid had some really cute sundresses last year, so I bought a whole bunch of them from Torrid, because us bigger girls go with the bigger girl stores. And Torrid has great stuff that is mature enough for me to wear at 40. And it's, but lots of cute little sundresses. So I'm so ready for sundress season because they're comfy. And I don't have to sit in waistbands. I'm such a brat about clothes now. Since I don't work in an office anymore, I'm like, hard pants. I don't want hard pants. I want soft pants. And I am a child about it. I say sitting here in jeans. Anyway, to touch on books, I don't really have a lot of recommendations or books to share. I haven't actually made progress in The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I did check out from my library on the Libby app on my phone, to go to my Kindle, I checked out a bunch of Robyn Carr, the Virgin River books, and they're quick reads, and it's just because I was, stressed out with this conference and stuff for work. I wasn't really in the mood I was in the mood for bag of chips reading, so nothing big and serious. So romance books it was, and I will say the first book was meh. I think if I hadn't seen the show, if I hadn't had an interest in continuing, I probably might not have continued the series off the first book. Because in the book, Mel is really annoying, and Jack is too good. It's too perfect. In the show, I feel like they give all of the heroes in a bunch of the books, all of their problems, they just combine into Jack on the show, which is that poor man. But I continued on with it. And the rest of the series has been fun. There's a couple books that I was meh over, but all in all, the series has been a nice light read, and my library has them, so if you are looking for a Hallmark Channel in a book series, Virgin River's probably your bet. Alright, I think that's it. I think I also haven't really had breakfast yet. I'm just drinking coffee, so my brain is all over the place. So I apologize if I rambled. But that is all I have to show for this week. Thank you so much for sticking around with my weirdness and watching, and I appreciate all of you. Thanks. Have a good day.